guys, it's Cindy B back with another nail video showing you how to do these 3D hearts and chrome nail look. I've already went in with my fine sanding bit and removed the shine from the base of the nail. I do apologize that I did not get that on camera, but I did go in with my 100% alcohol on my nail brush just to get rid of any excess dust. And now I'm going in with my OPI Bondex to dehydrate the nail just to make sure that the nail is fully hydrated and there's no oils. I am now going in with my today's primer, which is my favorite primer because it is very adhesive and it also prevents those fill lines with the application. Now, with the with the OPI Bondex, again, that is an unnecessary step, being that if you're using 100% alcohol, it typically does the dehydrating and removal, but I do prefer to go in with the OPI Bondex just to make sure that the nail is fully hydrated, just in case my client has oily nail beds. As you see, the brush that I'm using is the Galaxy Kolinsky brush in the number 12. I bought that at my local nail supply store. I do like this brush. I do not have it pinched. It is in its natural state. And again, it's nice and firm, but also loose enough to be able to have total control. So I do enjoy the brush. With the nails that I'm doing today, the client's nails has just gotten a little bit thinner to her liking from just the constant gel polish removal. So I am not only filling the nails, but I will be thickening the nails in the process. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead, start filling in some of the nail, and I'll be right back. Now, when you're laying that acrylic on the client's nails, make sure that their finger is pointing downwards. This helps that acrylic kind of flow in the direction that you want to brush anyways, so it does help out. If you don't point it downwards, that acrylic can actually flow in the opposite way. You'll have a pull at the base of the cuticle, which we know in order to prevent lifting, we need to make sure that the cuticle area does not have any excessive acrylic or anything on the skin. So make sure that you're pointing that nail downward so you don't have that pulling in the cuticle area, as well as that acrylic flow just, working in your favor and not against you. Remember, we want to pat that acrylic. We do not want to constantly wipe off the product. It is important to pat the product into place and only wiping or more so feathering to smooth it out. If you notice that I don't go by like the 1, 2, 3 bead method, I just place as many beads as possible until it gets to the smoothness, the thickness that I prefer. So again, doing nails is going to be at your pace, at the way you do it. It's great to learn technique, but you can also know what works best for you. When you're laying your acrylic, you want to move that finger all around. That's how you're going to be able to determine if that acrylic application is smooth. You want to look at it from all angles, make sure you're getting all the side walls, because if you have anything interfering, you can have lifting. And also you want to make sure that if you're doing if you're practicing doing acrylic application in the smoothest form in the beginning, it's only going to work for you later. Especially as you start to drill, it's less work you have to do, less time that your client has to sit there, and it's just going to be beneficial for you. So make sure that you're looking all around, make sure that you're covering the sidewalls. When you're applying the acrylic, you're getting as close to the cuticle area as possible without getting the product actually on the skin. I cannot repeat that enough, because this is key to making sure your nails do not lift. Make sure you're cleaning that cuticle area. You don't have to dig into the natural nail bed to get that cuticle off. Just make sure that you're cleaning, dehydrating, removing oils, and that is my best tip to make sure that you don't have that lifting. I am now going in with my 100 by 100 nail grit hand file, just to get that free edge and those edges together. When you're applying acrylic, you can sometimes lose your shape, so you want to make sure that you do file the nail to get that shape back. Underneath our hands, you'll find a nail dust collector. I did get that from Amazon. I believe the vendor is Markatt, M-A-R-K-A-T-T. This just helps with sucking down that nail dust that tends to fly everywhere. I don't necessarily like using a mask. I will still use a mask with this nail duster sometimes, but this prevents me from having to do so. So again, this is a nail dust collector from Markatt, and I got it from Amazon. Now that the nails are nicely shaped, I'm going in with my fine carbide bit. It is a taper bit. I got this from my local nail supply store. The reason I show you the top of that bit is because that's how you're able to read the bit type. So as you see, there was an F at the top that lets you know that that is a fine bit. And again, I got this from my local nail supply store. I prefer the taper bit when cutting down nails or even filing at the end, just because the taper bit allows me to get close to that cuticle area, and it also helps with a very straight cut when you're cutting down the nails. When you're going into the cuticle area with the E-file, it looks like I'm really digging into the client's nails, but I'm not. I'm being very, very gentle. What I'm doing is just making sure that that acrylic is not on that cuticle area, and it's also sealing that acrylic in so that you don't have any type of water or debris getting in or lifting. So as you see, I put it very close to the end. The only thing I can really suggest with making sure that it's nice and sealed is that when you go around, you're gonna barely be able to see it, but you're gonna be able to see where the acrylic is, where the natural nail is, and then where the skin is. If you can see the natural nail, then it is understood that that acrylic is not on the skin, because you can actually see that it's on the nail and not on the skin. I also take this carbide bit and I help along with that shaping as well. So if anything's not precise, I kind of just fix it as I go about. So I'll let you watch me get the nail nice and smooth, and I'll be right back. Alright, now that I have the nails all e-filed, I'm going in with my sanding block, and this is just to smooth the nail out even more. You should be able to run your finger or your thumb over the nail and it should be nice and smooth. This sanding block is just to get out any ridges from like the e-file. So I'll go ahead and sand this down or buff this out and then have my client wash her hands, and we'll be back for some nail art. Now that my clients has washed their hands, this is what they look like. I'll be going in with this Ultramarine Purple by D&D DC. I'll also be using Fairy Wings by D&D as the glitter. I'll also use French Tip as the white for the nails, and this is by D&D. And then lastly, I'll be using Vast Galaxy by D&D to add additional glitter to make it pop. When polishing the nails, the proper technique is to do a stroke down the middle of the nail, all around the side and both side walls. So you'll see me do that technique. So stroke down the middle and then down the side walls. Now, just depending on how big the brush is, sometimes you can cover most of the nail with just 1 or 2 strokes, but usually I will go through and just pull through lightly just to make sure everything is smooth and even. And since this is gel polish, after I finish polishing her hand, I'll just have her go inside of the lamp to cure for about 60 seconds. Now the nails are nice and cured, I'm going in to do a second coat. And once I'm done with the second coat, I'll have that cured and then we'll go in with some nail art. I'm going to add some stripes on the white nail, some silver stripes. So I'm just going to put a little bit of my gel glitter inside of this little art palette. I got this art palette from the Dollar Tree for $1. It comes with maybe 5 trays and very easy to clean up. I'm going in with this art brush that I actually got from eBay. They came 3 in a pack for like $3, so they were like $1 each, which is really good price, being that I pay about $5 for one brush at Michael's. And here I just kind of take my time and just go in with this gel polish to draw those silver stripes. And once I'm done with that, I'll have my client cure, and then we'll come back and add a 3D heart. To create the 3D heart, I'm going to use this IBD clear gel, which is a hard gel. And I'm just going to take this gel brush, it looks like a little fine gel type brush, and I'm just going to make a heart out of it. Between every layer, I will have the client cure, and then that way it causes that 3D effect. Once I have the heart in the shape and the volume that I desire, I will then go back in and paint the heart that purple color just to kind of, bounce off the nails. Now that I have the heart the way that I like it, I'm going to go ahead and put some of this purple into my little art palette. I am then going to take my fine detail art brush, and I'm just going to paint that heart purple. I'm going to also add a no wipe top coat on the index finger, because in order for the chrome to work or adhere to the nail, it has to be on a no wipe top coat. So I'll go ahead and do that, and once my customer has cured, I will go in and add that chrome. Now that my customers are cured, I'm going to go in and add that chrome to those index fingers. I have used a glove and used my finger to add it before. I've used makeup wedges that I got from the Dollar Tree. And then I also have this silicone tool. I don't use this often, but I used it today since it's only one nail. But it works just as well as any other. So however you get your chrome on is, as long as it works, I guess. So I'm just adding top coat, but before I do, I typically wipe that extra chrome off so it doesn't get in my product. I do use a top coat made by my local nail supply store, and I believe they have an online website, so I'll go ahead and put that link in the descriptions for you to reference. I do like this top coat because it is a lot thicker, and I believe this is a brand that they came up with themselves. It's called the E-Nail Ultimate Gel Top Coat, and I buy it in bulk like that. So once I have the nails all top coat, I'll have the client cure, and then I'll go in with my cuticle oil and just make sure that I'm adding that oil to the nails. And that concludes the video. So I do hope you guys enjoyed the video and that you've seen things that was helpful to you. If not, leave those messages in the comments and I'll be sure to get back to you. But I hope to see you guys soon. And if you haven't, make sure that you subscribe.